Why, hello. It is Robbie from Southern California, and I have been busy as a bee all morning. I'll step out here. I'm sitting down. You know, I love gardening and sitting. That's terrible. Well, oh well. Okay, I came out here, had my coffee about an hour ago, and I've worked for about an hour. If you remember, we should do a quiz. I had 6 black totes here. Now let me explain something on the totes. These particular totes are stackable totes. They're made kind of heavy duty. Well, they're made so you can pack them with whatever stuff you want to pack for the garage, and then what you do is you put a lid on and you can stack them. They're much stronger. You can see the lip around it and everything. Well, I got these at the thrift store, so I must have paid like $3-4 for them. I didn't pay much, but I ended up with 6 of them here. And I looked at them and I thought, no, I need one more. And we'll take a walk in a second. I'll show you what I did with them. So I decided to move one. So I moved this one, took half the soil out. Gary helped me move it. He grabbed the hand truck. And this is what I always talk about. See this? This is a tree root. Now, I don't want it. I'm going to clip it out. And you can compost this. It's gone. Once it's off the tree, it's gone. So you don't have to worry about it. Now, the tree roots could not get into the totes because these particular containers have the holes on the side. I hope they all do, because if they don't, I end up with tree roots. And sometimes I used to put holes on the bottom, so I can't do that anymore. Now these roots came from these beautiful trees. I love these trees. I feel very fortunate to have beautiful pine trees. I've got 3. Years ago I had 4, but that particular one was leaning too close to the power lines, they said, and they wanted to take them both out. Look at this one wiggles up because it had to wiggle through everybody. And I said, no, you can take the one. If Gary had his way, he probably would have taken them both. But you can take the one which was over there. You can probably almost see the tree trunk through there. See? They left a little bit so you can sit on it. And that was really far over and it was leaning. Gary used to worry it's going to come down. So anyways, they took that down about 5 years ago. But here, you know, they do send their roots underneath, and that's why if you're dealing with tree roots, and you know, some of you may not even know you're dealing with tree roots. I've had people tell me they can't grow anything, they don't know why. The plants start to grow and then all of a sudden they die. May not be anything you're doing. It might not have anything to do with rats or possums or anything, rabbits and squirrels chewing it. It may simply be this. Because when the roots get in there into your containers, whether you're growing in the ground, see, if I would have been growing in the ground, what they do is they come and they rob all the nutrients, they rob all the water. You think you're watering your plants, and the tree roots are like a sponge. They're just soaking that up. So keep that in mind. So anyways, now that I've moved that, I've already forgot what I was talking about. I'm going to collect this soil here, and that's what I'm doing right now, because while the tote was sitting on top, it was making beautiful compost. And so I'm collecting it. I'm going to use it for someplace else in another container. But see, this is blacktop. This was a parking lot. This is where you used to park. And now we turned the front yard into a garden. So that's what I've been doing this morning. Let me get up and show you. So going back to these, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. That's what I was talking about. I could pull them apart and stack them, but I just planted some squash in here. That one got attacked by the rabbits. And I'm debating on how I want to do it. So I think for this year, I'm going to leave it just the way it is. Because for me, I could replace these with $5 totes that will last for years. I mean, look, it's the same thing, but the $5 ones are smaller than that. That one's a $10 tote. And that one's probably about 3 years old. This one, I don't know how old it is. It's from a thrift store. It's really old. That one too is old. So they last for years. So I could replace these with $5 totes and then use this somewhere else, or I can stack right here, and I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I'm not going to do anything this year. We've got plenty growing, as you can see. Look at the tomatoes growing in this trough thing. I painted it kind of beige. I wanted everything in the front yard to kind of be quiet, not loud, and just look really, you know, natural. So, and then this is what Gary built me, the puzzle wall. So anyways, I'm going to leave that, but now this has actually worked out really well for me because there's the hose And that's where the other pepper tree was that Gary took out about a week ago or whatever. I have more room to move around here. I actually like it open that way. Let's walk over down the driveway. And this is something, I know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm starting to step back and realize I think this is crowded enough. And if I put that there, it's going to be in the middle. What if you needed to park here for a second? I mean, right now, you could pull in and you can still park a car here. So I'm kind of thinking I'm done here. I've got to get those pots back there with soil moved too, as I need soil in different pots. I saved the soil. So I think I'm going to just leave it. And I think that might go into my bird garden. That might be really cool in the bird garden. I can put mint in it. I've got an idea of how I'm going to plant it up. I know it's all broke. That's what Gary said. Why are you picking this out of the trash? I made him pick it up out of the trash. You know, we parked. We were coming home from somewhere months ago. And I told him I have an idea. That's going to look really cool when I set it up. So I think I'm putting that in the bird garden. And I'm just going to leave that. Yeah, I'm rambling. Okay, let's go down here so I can quit rambling. I'll show you what I did this morning. Because I haven't gotten here. And I was walking through here this morning looking at it before now the sun is getting hot. I think I'm going to put a couple more chairs here. By putting chairs, I don't have to worry about the rabbits. And that works out really good. Here I'm going to plant lettuce. I'm going to get lettuce going very soon in both of these. The strawberry thing I think I'm going to move. See those two black ones here? Those black totes? Those are stackables. I could pull those closer together, move this, and I could stack another tote. And I do, oh, that's another one. I missed that one because of the tool. I could pull the three. No, I'm leaving that. That tomato is from last year, and it's a determinate tomato. This is the Goliath. And once it's done, it's bizarre, but once it's done, which it was supposed to be done, but I guess it's trying to throw another one, you trim it back a little bit, and then the whole plant starts all over again. We'll see how many years it goes. So I'm going to leave that one. That was just beautiful a few minutes ago before the sun came over, and now it's drooped. Don't worry about that. You don't touch those plants. They pop up when the sun starts to drop down at night. So I think I'm going to move those two together, and then I can put buckets or other totes here, and that will be good. And then I can stack those two. Again, those are stackables. These are not. The thinner ones, these are Sterlites. Some of the Rubbermaids, they're not stackable. You can do it. I've done it before, and it's fine, but it could cause some pressure on them because these are the thinner, lighter ones. They're just meant to store things in your garage and stuff, and maybe stack one or two high, if that. So let's see look what I have done. Like I said, I have been as busy as a bee. So now it's going to look like that. I love this. And my goodness, everything's popping back to life since I've decided to get serious and make my plant food everywhere. I'm setting up, well, I don't have them. You can't see them. They're way down there. I'm setting up my plant food stations, and I'll get to that real soon. But look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just started feeding them, and within 2 days, they just started popping back. All this, I've been counting. These are big. So I've got like 5 big ones and 4 or 5 small ones. There's one in there that's really small. That's one of my first videos, this one. That was the one I did the compost in place, and I was flipping it around, and this is how you do. Look at that, it's still going strong. What is that, 5 years old? So I think I'm gonna take the small ones. Again, I've been debating. Finish up in here. I think I'm gonna have 4 totes in here. And I think I'm gonna put 4 in that area. So there's already 3 in there, so you only need 1, unless I put 1 big one in there. What I'm gonna do is I don't want anything sticking out anymore. I want it to be flat up against the wall. It looks nicer, it's easier to service, and that's just the way I want it. So I'm gonna flip those around fairly soon, I hope, and then line that up on the wall. I'm gonna have the tiers there, and it's gonna look like that. And that has been phenomenal. That has just been wonderful. Been picking zucchini out of that. You've got the tomatoes growing that, well, some I planted, some I didn't. I've got the tomatillos started. The cucumbers I thought were done are making a comeback. I've got watermelon growing in there. I don't even know. I just had peas growing in there, so everything was growing in there. So right now, here's the plan. This should be set up in the next day or two, and it already started to fill them. Remember, one came with soil, so I split it. Put a bunch of leaves and stuff in here, and split them between the two. That one's not done yet. That doesn't have holes because I was going to make a two system out of that, and I wanted to know how I wanted the holes, so I changed my mind. So now I got to get holes in that, and then this is going to be stacked. See, these are stackable. These are not, but shouldn't yell. But look at that. Is that cool? Now the thing is, like I said, they're stackable. That's fine. You can stack that, the one that's not stackable because the walls aren't strong enough on top. And I think that's going to look great. And plus it kind of stays out of the way of the rabbits. If I really like it, and I think I will, I may change the ones in the front yard. They had them on sale for $10. I paid $10 for that. But I think the normal price for those are $20. And I just don't want to put out a lot of money right now, and I've got so many. So I may start moving the ones in the winter and put the rest of the black ones along here. Like I said, things could change. Depends on what I'm going to do. What I'm going to grow too. And then I can just put gray ones or something else in the front. Maybe I'll find a really nice color I want to put in the front and make it look really nice and uniform. Right now, everything's being left the way it is in the front. I've got my stackables. That's why I needed one more, because I wanted to stack 3. It looks better when you have 3 on the bottom and 2 on the top. So that's what I've been doing today. Got to get some eggplant off of this today. I do not do well here with purple tree colored on this particular wall. The birds don't eat enough of the insects. Actually, this one's not doing too bad. Some of them really get eaten up. Okay, so the birds are getting used to coming in. I need to bring in the orioles any place I've got tomatoes so they get the hornworms, because they've missed a few. So the bush tits. Okay, but all in all, everything's looking good. See, this is a determinate. This is another Goliath. It's done. Look how bad it looks. But I'm not taking it out. It's growing down there. I'm just going to trim it back. I mean, it's already over a year old, so we'll see. And if it doesn't make a comeback, I'll change it then. I'm not working back here. Let me get in the shade. I'm not working back here yet. Everything growing is from last year. I've got to get the lettuce growing. That's important because I've kind of slacked off and I'm running around. Sometimes I'm making a taco, I want lettuce, and it's like, where's my lettuce? So I'm kind of running around looking for where lettuce is growing, and I've been picking lettuce. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Okay, so that should look really good. Hopefully we'll see it on the next garden tour. And I don't have to touch anything there. See, once it's done, it's done. That's the thing I have to remember. And you have to remember, once it's done, it's done. Now, if you want to change things, like I did here, I pulled the soil out full of earthworms and matter. I even found the spoon. So what I'm doing is I'm digging up this squash. Let me step back so you can see what I'm doing. I can keep track of this. I'm going to plant it in that tote. Eventually, these totes next spring, probably during the winter, may be moved. They'll probably stay here, but I think I'm going to stack. I want to stack some because these are stackable totes. But what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of the end one because I actually need it and I'm short a tote. So I'm going to move that squash that's growing. I'm going to put it on the end there. Then later on I can separate these and I can stack something. I'm not going to do it this year. I don't need to do it this year. But this actually will open up this area. So when I walk through with the hose, it'll actually give me more room to walk into this horseshoe area. So that will actually work better. And see, I'll show you what I've been doing. See the soil? I put some fresh kitchen scraps on the bottom, not on the very bottom, but on the, as it collapsed, I put it there, and then I put in some more soil and wood chips and whatever from the yard and colored leaves. And then here, I'm digging up and I'm moving it in here. And I'm just taking some of the soil because it's so rich. And I'm just, what's that? Ugh, look at all the flies. Keep in mind, these flies are doing their job. Look how beautiful they broke down all the kitchen scraps, and I'm more concerned about, you're kidding me. This must have been in the bucket from the kitchen. Are you kidding me? This is a good spoon. Really? I like these spoons. All right, well, at least I found it. You would think when I dumped the compost in here, I would have seen it, but I guess I didn't, because this is kitchen scraps that all broke down this year. It's all gone. You know that? It's gone. Everything's broke down. Anyways, we're gonna move this squash. Not that many roots on it, but it'll do fine. It's going to be very, very happy. So we're going to move this squash. And I'll put it here for now. And then I'll put it in that tote and we'll keep an eye on it. And this soil, what the heck is that? No, that's just wood. Oh, I thought, oh, that's a piece of plastic. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. It's a strainer. It came off of something. I don't know. All right, you know what? Put it in my bucket. That's my bucket. I'm finding all kinds of stuff in here. And that shouldn't have been in the compost. And it still looks as good as new. So it hasn't been out there that long. But, you know, you can split it and use soil from other containers that you've had that you know that you put your kitchen scraps and leaves and everything in, it's broken down. You just use it in another container. It's kind of like making sourdough bread. You're taking something from one container, as long as everything's healthy and growing good, you're taking something from one container and putting it in another, and so you got your microbes started already and your earthworms. It works out fantastic. I have talked your ear off, and I think I'm going to go in and get something to eat because I have not had anything to eat. I came out here just before the sun was really bright because it's going to be really hot today. And I wanted to get some stuff done. I feel finally like I got something done because this is something I've talked about, and now it's done. Now I just have to finish in here. Don't have much to do in here. I have to clear this out. This is going to be helpful. I've got 3 red roselle plants growing in here. I've got a watermelon of some sort that I did not plant coming up in here. And I've got all kinds of tomatoes coming up in here. Look how healthy. No hornworms. You know why? Because the bush tits are in here all the time. And they'll eat the hornworms when they're really tiny. I'm going to get rid of some of those. I'm going to have to compost some. But I'm going to compost some, I'm going to get rid of some, and I think I'm going to plant them up against the wall. Because tomatoes, I can have all year. Once I get them planted, they should grow all winter. So we'll have tomatoes all winter, and then I'll thin that down and I'll cater to the watermelon, and we'll see what it turns out to be. And then these watermelon plants are doing really good. Really, really good. This is leek. And I've got the purple. See, I just walked through here a few minutes ago and they were beautiful, but the sun is really hot. You don't touch them, you leave them alone, they'll pop back later. 4 watermelon plants, see, they're already starting to take off. And that's gonna be really good. I've got to get the rest of the zucchini off. I have to look at them and decide if the zucchini is gonna make it. And if it's not, I need to pull the plants. If I think they're no good, like that one, just yank it out, compost it, and get another one going, because we still have time here in Southern California, because we are warm. Actually, our warmest months are usually the fall. So it will do good, and it gets a ton of sun here. Sun is not a problem here. All right, well, I'm gonna go in and get something to eat. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with this. I'm not happy about the hornworm that got in here. One hornworm did so much damage, but look at this. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we pick and pick and pick, and we have so many tomatoes. Unbelievable. I'm still looking to see if I see another hornworm. I don't see any. I need to put a hummingbird feeder right here. If I put a hummingbird feeder right here with big holes, the orioles are all over the place. They'll come and they'll feed, and they have eyesight. I have seen them go to a feeder, look at a plant, and dive in. Now I will have to put sticks because they don't like the trichomes on the plant. A lot of the birds, they won't go on there. They may hang on a leaf, the small bush tits, but they won't touch that. Sticky, and it's hard to wash off. Like people, you're really hard to get off your hands. Well, they don't want to land on it, so I would have to put some sticks there, kind of to invite them in. Okay, and then I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put this celery I pulled out. Look at this. You know what, it's sitting on a bucket of water. But it was so nice. It was growing in with my strawberries over there, and this I gotta get to. So we'll be done little by little. That's important. See, and I'm making my own plant food. I've got a lot of videos on how to make plant food. I don't make it any different. The only thing that I do differently is I come up with different ideas that are gonna make my life easier. And I came up with another idea to make my life easier. So I'm making plant food in different ways. And I know I've got one down there. I'm not sure, oh, it's way down there. I can see the white buckets in between the totes. I'm gonna have a plant food station there. probably one there. There's one somewhere against the wall. One, I've already got one in the chair garden way down there. And then I haven't really set up a true one here, but I've got that right now and it's working. So I just set it up, so I'm starting to feed the plants, and that's what's keeping all those plants alive there. Okay, like I said, I have talked your ear off. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then, well, maybe I'll upload this video. All right, have a great day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. I'm gonna run back to the yard to grab my stuff. I am so tired of looking for things I can't find all the time. Now this, now you know what, put it in the bucket. I decided to designate this bucket. It's got a hook I put on. Why does it have a hook? I could hook it somewhere if I can get it back to the top. I looked all morning for my shovel. Must have a dozen shovels. See, I could just hook this if I wanted to. Right there. So I could just hook it anywhere and then leave it somewhere off the ground. But I've got to have a bucket designated with some of my tools. I bought so many cutters. I put them down and I don't know where they are. So I have to get in that habit. Okay, now I'm going to go in the house and get something to eat. It's under the you're under the house? Let me tell you something. He pops out of walls. He pops out of everything. He pops out of flower pots.
Okay, you see a shovel and piles of dirt.
I didn't. I've been standing here working with the wire.
Well, you didn't notice the shovel
No.
and the pile of dirt?
You would have popped out while I was standing here working, and I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I should have grabbed your leg.
I would have been screaming. Oh, here's your dragonfly. Look, it came to say hello. Oh my God, I would have been screaming because I had no idea that you went under the house. All right, now I'm gonna go get something to eat.